Hey, hello, my friends. Rick Billings. I kind of titled this live. Change, is it good or bad? And I just reflect a little bit back in 1995 when I had my photography business, and I learned about a digital camera that Kodak made for NASA, and I did a lot of research as much as I could. We were out in Omaha, Nebraska, or Bellevue, where SAC headquarters was at. They were loaning it to the military and stuff like that, and I somehow forgot exactly how I got my hands on it, and I thought, wow, this could be revolutionize the photography business. I could take digital photographs. I could take and retouch one digital file and produce massive amounts of files. Because, see, in our portrait studio, we would make portraits. We would retouch the negative to remove eye bags, blemishes, etc. Yes, it's been done for hundreds of years, believe it or not hundreds, but 100 years plus, and to make people look better, because those were just usually temporary things. A blemish was temporary. And so lighting bags under the eyes come from lighting. That's, people don't understand that. But, it's, so I thought, we were in the studio, we were retouching pictures, and we had to retouch every single picture they order afterwards versus retouching a digital file and you could produce many. So I thought this would revolutionize the portrait market. So I jumped in with both feet. I think at the time, I spent maybe $90,000. My first camera cost $30,000. First digital camera I bought in '95 cost $30,000, and people thought I was crazy. And yes, it was hard. Yes, it was hard. We had it was like I was walking around with a bunch of arrows in my back. It was amazing because everybody said you can't do that. That's not going to work. It'll never work. You're crazy. And those were the bad times, I would say. I mean, you felt bad about it, but as an entrepreneur, you have to have somewhat of a vision, and that vision has to be 3 to 5 years out. And I've always had that. I've always had a vision of the future because you can't change the past, you can only change the future. That's important to understand that as an entrepreneur. So I knew that if I stayed at it and if I worked hard enough, that it would turn to good. That change would turn to good. And that's exactly what happened. I was telling people, I was writing articles for magazines, and Kodak said, hey, we want you to lecture all around the country, all around North America, U.S., Canada, Mexico, and tell other photographers how they could start to transition their studio into digital. And then I created a Get Digital Training Center that we had for about 9 years. And I lectured for Kodak for 11 years. And believe it or not, they paid me about $3,500 for a 3-hour lecture. So it was exciting. I gained a lot of that money I spent, but over the years we had spent many, we've had 10 or 15, 20 digital cameras, and they were expensive. And then Canon sponsored me, and I went around. So that beginning part of transitioning into digital, like it is with companies that transition into new markets, do different things and stuff like that. In the beginning, sometimes bad things happen. But if you stick at it, if you stay with it long enough, if you're a true entrepreneur, you don't give up. You push through those times. And it makes you a better person. It makes you a stronger person. And good times come out of it. The good times of rewards that you get monetarily, rewards that you get, through, trips and vacations, depending on what kind of business you're in and stuff like that. And, hey, Richard, how are you? And so it's, it's exciting. If you're jumping on here, let me know where you're calling from and give me any comments. But it's just the way I live. I get up every morning, pretty early because I'm excited about my business. I'm excited about life. I mean, you know, I basically need 7, 8 hours sleep. Hey, Arjun. And so, you know, when that happens, I get up. I don't have no alarm clock. I haven't used an alarm clock in 15 plus years. I probably haven't used an alarm clock in 20, 25 years. I only use an alarm clock when I'm traveling. If I have to get up to go, you know, especially early to go catch a flight. But my body just gets up when I'm ready, which is pretty early. And because I'm very passionate about what I do, I'm very excited about what I do. What I do now, you know, I transitioned from the photography business that I was very successful. I'm a master photographer, a craftsman. You know, I was certified at the time and stuff like that. And I hit all the awards and degrees I could, you know, get to a certain extent there. Lectured all around the country. And then, you know, I gambled on a sports photography venture in 1998 with a company in Pittsburgh. And we were going to take a company public and with sports photography on the internet. And we built the business, ASPN. God, I wish I would have kept that domain name, ASPN.com, American Sports Photo Network. You know, it was a play off of ESPN at the time. That domain now, I think we let it go, or my partner let it go, and I think it sells for a lot of money now. But we built that business for 5 or 6 years, got it up to a couple $1 million a year, but we were just, people didn't see our vision. Other people didn't understand our vision. And today it's normal. You go online, you upload your picture, you can put text on it, and they send it back to you in the mail. Well, we developed that in 1997, actually, 1997, 98. And it was a turnkey process. From the consumer entering online, upload, you know, picking the pictures from our sports photography, obviously, our systems printing the picture on Kodak paper and shipping it right to the consumer. It was wild. We had a system. We had thousands of orders that come through every day. But nobody caught our vision, and we couldn't keep that momentum going. And we had to shut it down in 2003 or so, 2004, and I lost everything. I lost $1.5 million. Not every single penny, but I lost $1.5 million. A lot of money. And from that point on, you know, I had to figure out how am I going to regain my wealth. And that's how I come across network marketing. And to me, personally, it's the best decision I ever made in my life. I think it's the best industry you could ever get into. Everything is done for you to market products or services, and all you have to do is be a marketer. Network with people, network marketing. Network with people and share. It's either for them or not. And I tell my people I work with all the time, the answer is always no until you ask somebody. So master how to ask somebody. Master how to communicate. There's a formula that you can use to communicate with people. Anybody, every day that you're within, you know, talking distance of. But the answer is always no until you say something. People just don't realize that. Sometimes they just don't get it. You got to be able to communicate. If you're an introvert and you don't like to talk to people and you're scared of people, this business is not for you. You can't hide behind a computer. You eventually have to talk to people. Yes, you can communicate with people on Messenger, and you can make new friends on Messenger. And that's one of the greatest things about this industry is all the new friends that you met. Arjun was on here earlier, Richard. I didn't know those people before, but they become friends, right? And they're all around the world. It's amazing. I'm building a big team in Africa, and they're friends. They become friends. And it truly is, you think what other business allows you to do those kind of things? Now, there are businesses that do, but for the average person that don't, they're working somewhere. Yeah, if they have an international business, yeah, they can talk to other people. But this is an amazing business. There's no cap. Where else can you go that there's nobody holding their hands on your shoulders saying I'm not going to pay you more. You can't do that. Here's when you can go on vacation. Here's when you can take a break. Jiminy Christmas. I've been self-employed for 37 years. I've never in 37 years had anybody tell me that. And I never treated the 27 employees that work for me in Omaha that way. Okay? But the point is the sky is the limit. It's between your ears what you can do. It's a mindset. Change your mindset. Again, change your mindset. And yeah, it might be tough in the beginning, but it'll get good. It'll get better. It will. Trust me. If you work at it long enough, consistently enough, and never, ever, ever give up, you will succeed. It's hard not to. A blind squirrel always finds a nut. Right? You just have to stay at it. And just keep going. Because you won't realize the lives that you'll help change. The other people that you'll help change from bad to good. Right? People in this country, people all over the world are distressed. They want more money. You know, I tell people all the time, if I hold a $100 bill in this hand and a bottle of supplements in this hand, or the product I have, what do you want to talk about? And 99.9% of the time they say the $100 bill, the money. Everybody is open to earn extra money. You just have to learn how to communicate. Get the formula down that can be written on an index card. I wrote it on a wallet-sized card, half the size of an index card. And I laminated it. And I had it on my desk. I had one in my wallet. I had one in my bathroom. And I read it every day until it was part of my memory. And I've mastered it. And I challenge you to do that. What would you do to make 6 figures or multiple 6 figures? First of all, you have to understand how to take action. Second, you have to understand how to master a process that has results. And when you do that, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. You can become unstoppable. And many people have. And many people struggle every day because they don't want to change their mindset and learn something new and be consistent and take action and master something. I'm so passionate about that, and I say that because, you know, I love helping people. And if this message can help you and help others, please share it. Give me a thumbs up. But change is the way of life, and we all have to accept that. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on another live.